Okay, we are live. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Fluency Fundamentals series. This is the class where you learn the important keywords you need in different topics. So you're going to develop your fluency by improving your vocabulary in Fluency Fundamentals. I'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do in just a moment. First, quick introduction. Then I'll test that your microphones are on, and then we will get started. So let's see if I can get my name on the screen. Give me a second to let that load. It's a little bit slow. Almost there. Give me just a second here. Oh, today everything is going to be really, really slow. Okay, well, while I'm waiting for my name to appear on the screen, I'll just go ahead with my introduction. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you today from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. And I'm trying to get my name on the screen, and it's not cooperating today. Let's see if I can. Now it's cooperating. Almost. There we go. Now we got it. If you click the link in the Verbling chat window, or you go to my profile page, you will see exactly this. On the left side, you can click the follow button, and you should receive notifications of my upcoming group classes. If you're not, let me know, because it means there's something wrong. On the right side, you can book a private tutoring class or package when I get the packages set up, and I will work with you on a personalized learning plan to help get you to your goals. I just ask, if you don't mind, send me a message first so I can be absolutely sure that I have time for you in my schedule. Let's take a look at the material for today. And we're going to jump right into the class because we're a little bit late. As soon as I get it on the board. There we go. So let me give you a link. Open it on your computer. There you go. And here's the link in the group chat. And let me just test that your microphones are all working. And then we will get started. So the first person I saw out there was Antonina. Welcome back, Antonina. How are you? Hello, Antonina. Can you hear me?
Yes, just a moment. I have yet my phone on. Hello, teacher.
Okay,
I'm fine, and you?
Very good, very good. Just testing that your microphone works. Okay, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Salwa. Hello, Salwa. Are you out there? Hello, Salwa. Mustafa, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Ah, there we go.
Okay.
And where are you from, Salwa?
I'm from Egypt.
From Egypt. Is this your first time here?
No, I attended some classes with you, but it was a long time before.
A long time ago, because I don't recognize the picture.
Yeah, I changed it.
You must have changed the picture. Okay, great to have you back, Salwa. And welcome back, Mr. Frederic.
Hello again.
Hello again. Mr. Robert, hello, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing very well.
Excellent, very good.
Okay.
And who else is out there? Alina, welcome back.
Hello again.
Good. Sandra?
So far so good.
So far so good. Okay, very good. Mr. Giancarlo? Hello?
Hello, John. Good morning.
Good morning. And let's see. I think it was Rothio. Hello, Rothio. How are you?
Hello. It's good to hear you again.
Okay. I think we're all set, so let's get started. In this particular class, what we're going to do is work on keywords. You're going to build fluency by expanding your vocabulary. Let me ask a question to Mr. Giancarlo. What do you see in the picture? Before we start with the keywords, what do you see?
There is a guy trying to cross maybe a way, a path or something, but there are some obstacles there, and he's trying to jump each obstacle.
To jump over.
To jump over the obstacles.
There you go. Sounds better to use a phrasal verb here, to jump over. And by the way, let's work on a new vocabulary word, because obstacle sounds like Spanish to me. Is that the same word in Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in English, we're not going to call them obstacles because that's too abstract. These things are very, very physical and real. They are hurdles. Hurdles. In fact, there's even another name for them, but generally we'll call them hurdles.
It's a difficult word. Hurdles.
It's easy. Just think of the word turtle. And then say it with an H. Turtle with an H is a hurdle.
Turtle.
Turtle hurdle.
Turtle hurdle.
That's it. It's exactly the same. Turtle hurdle. Exactly the same.
Hurdle.
That's it. So you're absolutely right. There's a guy jumping over hurdles. Now, let's see. Mr. Robert. I think you agree with Giancarlo. This is a guy jumping over hurdles. What kind of guy is it?
Business guy, I think,
business
because
guy.
I see a suitcase and he is dressed suit. Suit.
It's not a suitcase. It's a briefcase. A briefcase.
Okay.
You know why? What's the difference between a suitcase and a briefcase?
I think a suitcase is much bigger.
It's bigger, yeah.
You usually take when you want to travel.
Exactly. And a briefcase is for briefs. Briefs means documents. Have you read the briefs? Have you read the Pelican Brief? Like the movie about the legal case. So a brief is a set of documents. That's one meaning of brief. Okay. Antonina, what does the business guy with the briefcase jumping over hurdles, what does that have to do with bureaucracy, Antonina?
I think this picture tried to show us that there is a difficult way to go through the bureaucracy officials.
Exactly. It is difficult to go through bureaucracy. By the way, say that word for me. Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
That's perfect. Everyone, this is such a difficult word, we really should practice it. So I'm going to call on you each to repeat the word one time. So me, then you. Okay, so Robert, bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
No, try again. Listen to the U. There's a little there's a little ya at the beginning. Oh my God, I can't even say it. Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
That's better. There's a little ya before the U. Bjork. Think of Bjork. Remember Bjork, everyone?
Yes.
If you think of Bjork, you can't get it wrong. Okay, let's try Alina. Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Right, not Bjorkocracy, but bureaucracy. Okay, Frederic, bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Very good. Giancarlo, bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Perfect. Rocio, bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Good. Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
That's it. Because maybe it's your connection, but I didn't hear the S. Okay. Salwa, bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Very good. Sandra, bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Okay, you all got it. Let's learn some bureaucracy words. We're going to spend the first 10 or 15 minutes just learning different kinds of keywords. We're going to apply those to 2 or 3 activities. or exercises, I should say, to give you some very simple right or wrong kind of exercises. That way you'll nail down the meanings. At the end, we'll play a little speaking game with the words that we've learned, and then we'll reflect what was new, what was difficult, etc. So let's start here, everyone. My question is very simple. What is it? So you're going to try to explain in your own words what these things are and what they have to do with each other. It might be a good idea to try to give an example. Okay? So let's go backwards. I'm going to start with Sandra first. Pick one of these words and see if you can explain it or give an example. So let's see if we can try to start to figure out what the differences are in meaning. Okay? So any word you like, doesn't matter which one you start with. Any one you like. Uh-oh, I think I lost the camera. Give me a second. Whoops. Uh-oh, lost my camera. Give me 1 minute. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so Sandra, I want you to pick one word and give me an example or a definition. We're going to try to define these in the ways that we know how first. Okay, Sandra?
Okay, I tried.
Okay.
Rules.
Okay, good. Repeat after me. Rules.
Rules.
Good. Good. So give an example or a definition or anything you can think of to help us understand that word. What are rules?
Okay, maybe rules is an activity that you have to do. You must do. You must do it.
An activity you must do. That's a good start. But I wonder, is activity the right word?
No, I know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Salwa, let's help her out. Maybe the word activity is not the best word.
No, maybe.
Go ahead, Sandra. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Maybe it's a statement.
Okay. So some statement.
Statement. Okay.
That you have to. Instead of saying, how about I'm gonna change one little word here in your definition, Sandra. Some statement that you have to
do.
Follow instead of do.
Some statement that you have to follow. Okay. Yes.
Follow. Because we follow rules. Okay? So,
yes.
Okay, I think that's a good start. Once we have a definition for all these words, or an example, then we're going to compare them to see what the difference is. Okay, so first, I want you to use the language you have to try to define or give an example of each. So we did rules. Salwa, pick another word on the screen. Any word you like.
Another.
Anyone you like. We've done rules.
Okay. Official.
Okay. Notice that there's an S there. So officials. Officials.
Officials.
Okay. Good. So what do you think we mean by officials?
Officials mean something related to work in an office or going into a book.
Okay, so something related to working in an office, or I didn't catch the second word. I'm sorry. Or what?
Follow strict rules or going on to the book.
Going on to the. It's a little hard to hear you. Going on to the what?
Book.
To work?
Book.
Maybe you should write the last word because I'm not catching it. Book. Ah. Yeah. Okay. Now the only problem with that, Salwa, is that we could talk about officials in other contexts. Like we could say the officials at the football match made a bad call, or something like that. And we could use it in another context too. So I think we're missing one idea, though, that's very important. Class, what are we missing with officials? Because it could be at work, it could be in professional sports, for example. It could be in other areas as well. What's the key idea about an official? Is it a person, a place, or a thing?
It's a person.
It's a person. I heard someone say it. Officials are people, right?
Okay.
That's the thing that we can't lose here. Officials are people, and what do these people do? People who do what?
I think it's people who manage other people.
People who manage others. Les autres. People who manage others. Okay, sounds good to me. All right, we're on to Rothio. We've done rules, we've done officials. I think you've got 3 more on the screen. Pick any of those 3 and see if you can give an example or a definition. Any way you like.
Okay. A difficult one. Control.
Control. Okay, good. Let's try. Let's try.
I think that is the intention to manage or guide the behavior of something.
Okay, so you said did you say the attempt to guide the behavior? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's not a bad definition at all. The attempt to guide the behavior of others. Control. Okay. For example, passport control. That's what comes to my mind immediately. Passport control. Everyone has to show something at passport control. Okay. Let's move on. We've got now procedures and regulations. Giancarlo, can you pick one of those 2 words and give an example? Procedures and regulations.
Yes, John. Procedures.
Okay.
Procedures means the way that something must be done.
The way, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the key idea. It's the way it needs to be done. Not that it needs to be done, but how it needs to be done. Okay, I think that's a good way to put it. The way something needs to be done. Okay. Hopefully at this point you're starting to see that rules and procedures are not exactly the same thing. And officials and control are different too. So far, I think we're starting to get a good map of the vocabulary. Frederic, the last word on the screen is regulations. You've got to tell me the difference between regulations, procedures, and rules. Can you see a difference between them?
Regulation is like like a limit.
Okay. Okay. Regulations. The limits. I'm going to give you a word here that goes well with limits. The limits placed on doing something.
Okay.
I'm going to say it like that.
The
limits placed on doing something. All right. Very good. So this is our first set. And these are just sort of the key words that are going to come up again and again and again when we talk about bureaucracy. Let's talk about the elements of bureaucracy now. Here are some things on screen, and you're going to do 2 things here. First, you're going to match the document to the verb. Then you're going to try to use it in a sentence of your own. There's probably more than one right answer here, okay? So don't get stuck. There's more than one way to say things. If possible, though, maybe we're going to try to not repeat answers so much, if we can help it. All right? But there's more than one, but if you need to, you can. So we're on to Mr. Robert. Pick a document, pick a verb, and see if you can create a sentence that uses it in a meaningful way.
Driving license.
Good.
Verb to issues.
Very good. They work.
I have some issues with my driver lessons.
I have some issues with my driver. Oops. Driver. Yeah. In America, we say driver's license. In British English, we say driving license. I'm American, so I'm going to write driver's license. Okay? What issues might you have with your driver's license, Robert?
Maybe it's expired or
expired.
Expired. Maybe it's wrong name or picture, something like that.
Inaccurate. Maybe it's inaccurate.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's only one little problem, Robert. A little problem. Do you know what the problem is?
No.
The problem is.
Problem.
What is it, Antonina?
Issue means problem.
No. It doesn't mean problem. Not in the case that we're looking at. The problem here. It's to issue as a verb, Robert, not as a noun. To issue.
Okay.
So, Robert, you've got to use it as a verb. Can you do it? If you can't do it, say pass.
Pass.
Pass. Antonina, can you use issue with driving license?
I can
as
try.
A verb. As a verb.
As a verb. The responsible organization has issued my driving license.
That's perfect. The responsible, or I'm going to try to write this for you, organization has issued my driving license, or my driver's license. Perfect. Robert, take a look at her sentence and tell me if it's clear, if you have any questions.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't have any question.
Okay, so issued means to give or create the driving license. Give it to you officially or create it. Okay, so in all these cases, you've got to use the word at the bottom as a verb. That's the trick. Okay, and if you're not sure, make a guess and I'll correct you afterwards. Don't worry about it. Okay, Ms. V, how are you?
Hi, John. I'm full now. I just finished my dinner.
How was it?
It was delicious.
Very good.
Because I was hungry in your previous class, so I think just that it was more delicious than usual.
Oh, okay. Everyone, if you're hungry, just go out and eat. Don't worry about me, okay? V, pick a document on the screen, not driver's license because we did it.
Okay.
Pick a verb at the bottom of the screen and try to create a sentence with that verb and that document. In doing so, you're going to show that you understand both words.
Okay.
Okay?
My identity card was expired last month, and I just renewed it some days ago.
And I just renewed it 10 days ago. Good. 10 days ago. Let me see if I got that right. You said my identity card expired last month and I just renewed it 10 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're using to renew. Okay. Sounds perfect. Very good. Any questions about that sentence, class? What does the word renew mean? Is that clear what renew means, class? I hope, yeah, okay, I hope so, because you're going to be using these later too. Okay, if there's no questions, let's go back to Ms. Salwa. Okay, I'm gonna ask you about a specific word this time. Birth
Okay.
certificate. What verb can you use with birth certificate?
Birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, to ask to provide
Good. Very good.
or to release, I think. Okay.
Go with the first one. The first one is perfect.
To ask to provide. Okay.
Okay. So
Uh,
who might do that? Who or what might ask?
um, I don't know the name of the institution in English.
Okay, make us understand. You don't have to have the right word, but make us understand which institution you mean. Make us understand by giving an example or an illustration or a situation. Make us understand it.
Um, I have to go to um,
To
the government institution to ask to provide a birthday certificate for my daughter.
okay. I have to go to the, I'm going to say government office rather
Okay.
than institution. I have to go to the government office who asked, who asked, who asked me to provide, I think, for me to provide my daughter's birth certificate. Certificate. Okay, I hope I got your sentence right. I think I did. Take a look in the chat window. Did I get it right? I think that's what you said.
Okay.
Okay, good. Class, what government office might she be referring to? What's the name of that government office? Any ideas? I know in America, I'm not 100% sure. In Europe, I know what office it is. Any ideas, class?
In France, it's City Hall. In the City Hall.
Okay, in general, City Hall, sure, absolutely. Okay, so it could be an office in the City Hall. That's true. And more specifically, we have, I know the word in French because it's the same in Portuguese. In Portuguese, it's,
Préfecture.
say it again, Frederic.
In France, it's prefecture. Prefecture.
We have the same word in English, but prefecture. That's a good question. I was going to say, because in Portuguese it's the civil registry, translates as civil registry. Okay, so there's more than one way to say it. Civil registry, registry. So I don't know exactly. And by the way, we say the same thing in English. Prefecture is a word we borrowed from French, so you can actually say that in English. Okay, but it really depends on where you live. Civil registry makes sense because it's a place where citizens are registered as citizens. So it makes sense that you would say civil registry. I'm trying to think in the United States when I was a kid if there was a particular name, because I think we would just say Social Security Office. I'm not sure if there's a specific name for the national one. I think we just registered Social Security. For the local one, not sure. And you know what, Frederic? It could also be the parish. If you're not in a city, the local one is called the parish. It really depends. It really depends on which country you're in and what the organization is like. Okay, but if it's like a town, it's a parish.
Okay.
Something like that. Okay, very good, very good. Miss, what did I left off here? Miss Elena. I'm going to ask you about, how about credit report? Let's try one more here. Credit report. Any ideas?
To check credit report.
Very good. I agree. Okay. Who, what, when, where, how. Give us a little more information. Make a complete sentence, Alina.
The bank checked my credit report.
The bank checked my credit report. Good. Did you pass? Did you pass or fail?
Excuse me?
Did you pass the credit report or did you fail the credit report?
Oh, okay. No. I passed. I passed.
Very good. So take a look at that sentence. The bank checked my credit report and I passed. Okay, very good. So we've done driver's license. No, we've done that. We've done driver's license, birth certificate, credit report, passport. Let's do a challenging one. There's two really identity card we did as well. There's two really challenging ones. The first challenging one is going to go to, let's see, who have I missed out there? Rothio. Rothio, are you ready, Miss Rothio?
Yes, okay.
Let's go with visa. This one is challenging because there's two different ways you can use the word visa. So I want you to give me one of those ways using a verb below.
For example, my visa is run out on November, for example.
Very good. My visa, not is, my visa has. Oh no, you said in November. In November. Sorry, it's will. My visa will run out in November. Okay? Now you got to add a little bit more information to be clear. My visa will run out in November, and
maybe
will,
I have to renew it.
I have to renew it. I have to renew it. Or leave the country.
Okay, yes.
So the reason I added country is to make it clear that renew, it's only, this is the visa that allows you to visit a foreign country. That's what we mean by visa. The credit card, that's another kind of visa. That is borrowing a word for the credit card.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Very good, very good. Mr. Frederic, here's the hardest one of all. I don't know if you can do this one, but let's try. Criminal background check. That's the hardest one here because it's the least obvious, I think. But let's see. You can use a verb to use that in a meaningful way, Frederic.
If you want a new visa, you have to issue a criminal background check.
Absolutely, that's good. If you want a new visa, you have to get a criminal background check issued. Not issue it, because you're not the one issuing it. It's the government that issues it.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay? So I'll put that last one in the chat window for you to see. Good example. If you want a visa, right, for a country, if you want a visa, you have to get a criminal background check issued by your government. And this is really tricky because if any of you have lived in another place, you sometimes can't get it done. It's quite difficult, depending on where you live. In America, it really is a difficult process. I can tell you from experience. Okay, there's your sentence in the chat window. Frederic, if you want to take a look.
Okay.
Notice we have to use the passive voice. Get criminal background check issued, or have criminal background check issued. This is what we call the idiomatic passive voice. Idiomatic passive voice. It's a special passive voice in English that doesn't exist in other languages, So, for example, idiomatic passive voice. Get or have something done. To get or have something done. Okay, so that's what I mean by idiomatic passive voice. Get or have something done. For example, get your hair cut. Have your car fixed. Any questions about that? The idiomatic passive voice? I say idiomatic because you don't use the verb to be. You use get or have as a replacement.
And what is the difference between those two passive voices?
The difference between the verb to be and get or have is a big difference. When you use the idiomatic passive voice with get or have, it's always for a service of some kind.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So, get your hair cut by a barber. Get your car fixed by a mechanic. Get your criminal background check issued by the government. So there's always a service being performed. Does that make sense?
Thank you. I have understood. Thank you very much.
All right, very good. Okay, the last set of words before we do an exercise, the last set of words are how you sign documents. We have a bunch of documents. So what I want you to do is look at the pictures on the left and see if you can match them to the words on the right. Giancarlo, the first picture on the top left, what verb do you think fits that picture? This one is a little bit abstract, but maybe you can give it a shot. Notice that I've got different colors. That's because we have some synonyms here. So there's more than one word you can use. What do you think is the best match?
Maybe it is application form.
Ah, okay. Maybe it's an application form. And why do you choose application form for those two people? What are they doing?
Because they seem to be talking about a job, and maybe the girl is interviewing him for a post.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe he's being interviewed by her, or she's interviewing him, and she's reading his application form. Okay, yes. Sounds good. So to apply for a job, application form is what you need to fill in. That's the name of the document. Very good. What's the verb, Giancarlo? What did the man have to do to the application form? What's the verb we need for that action of putting his information on the form?
Maybe it's to sign, because
at the bottom, yeah, he'd sign it.
Assign, but I don't understand the meaning of assign, teacher.
It doesn't fit here. That's why.
No,
it doesn't fit in this
example.
And not initial either. It's not necessary. So he has to sign the application form to make it official. That works. Class.
To sign. Yes.
It works. It's good. It's good. Class. Are there any other verbs that might fit for application form besides to sign?
Fill out.
Fill out is right. Before he signs it, Giancarlo, he has to fill it out with his information. Your name, your date of birth, etc. So fill out also works. Okay? Let's try another one. Antonina, pick a picture and let's match up the kind of form and the kind of action to the picture. First, tell us which picture you're going to go with on the left side.
For example, the plane.
The plane, excellent. Which kind of document or form would you expect on a plane?
Landing card?
Precisely, a landing card.
I don't know what it means.
I know, but you're right. Because the plane lands, so there's a landing card. Class, have any of you ever had to fill out a landing card? I have.
Yeah.
Have any of you?
Yes.
Tell us about it. V, you were first, I think. When did you have to fill out a landing card?
Yeah, because I have to immigrate to another country. So they delivered me a landing card to fill out my information, uh, the last destination and the arrival place, something like that. I think
Right.
to control the roads, the roads or the routes.
The
roads?
routes. The
Yeah, the
routes.
routes. Yeah.
Okay. To control the travel routes. Frederic, you also filled out a landing card before, right?
Yes. Once when I went to the US.
Right. Now, why did you fill out a landing card for the US and not to go to, say, Germany?
Because the US has because the US is not in Europe, and I
separate jurisdiction, separate country, separate laws.
Yeah, separate laws, separate regulation.
Right.
And so I have to fill out a landing card to be able to landing in the US.
There you go. So what do you think, Antonina? Is that a little clearer now?
Yes, a little. I haven't got the full meaning, but I understand that one have to fill out the landing card when a person is going to USA.
Absolutely. And you wouldn't fill out a landing card. For example, if you fly from, I don't know, where can you fly from? If you're going to fly from Moscow to St. Petersburg, I don't know if you can fly there, you wouldn't fill out a landing card. It's not necessary. But if you fly from Moscow to New York, yes, you're going to fill out a landing card because it's a country totally separate from where you were.
Yes, but this is the regulation, and this regulation is not in all of countries.
Pretty much all countries.
Where is not needed to fill the landing card. I have raised a lot
Give me an
by
example.
the work, yeah, and I know that is in Europe, and I know that is not every time needed.
But give me an example where you don't need it. What's a country that doesn't ask for it?
Germany.
Yeah, but that's because you're in Europe. If you're inside
Yes, but when I come from, for example, from Moldova and I fly in Germany, I don't need to fill a landing card.
That's because there's a treaty between Moldova and Germany. There's a treaty.
Okay.
So they share information. It's got to be something like that. There's got to be a reason why you wouldn't fill it out.
It can be. I don't know is so perfectly.
Can I one question? Sorry.
Yeah.
If you are a U.S. citizen, do you have to fill out a landing card when you are going to land in the U.S.?
If I'm a U.S. citizen, no, because I'm a citizen. I'm already registered.
Even if you are from Europe, if you start from Europe?
Not if I'm a U.S. citizen, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
Because why would I need to? Why would I need to declare? Think about it like that. You're declaring that you've entered the country in a very official way, and you're declaring this is the start of my time. So, for example, if I'm a U.S. citizen, well, I am a U.S. citizen, and I go to France for the first time, I fill out a landing card because I only have 3 months in France before I need to make a declaration that I'm either leaving or renewing my tourist visa, right? So I need an official start time. And I guess the landing card just makes it easier for the officials, I suppose. Right, because there's a stamp on my passport, but they want. By the way, nowadays I don't know how they do it. I don't know if you actually fill it out or if it's electronic. I don't know how it's changed, but definitely 15 years ago when I went to France or wherever I was. I remember filling them out. So anyway, no, not if you're a citizen. You're already registered. You got a social security number. You have a tax number. No reason to do it. We've got a few more here besides the plane. Let's see, Robert. What about that picture at the bottom of the screen? What is that thing?
Some kind of hat, maybe.
It is some kind of hat. Is that a hat that you would wear on a Friday night?
Yeah, I think, but I don't know how to explain in English. Maybe after you finish high school, you need to dress with this hat.
Right. It's a graduation cap. Graduation cap. Like this in the chat window. Give me a second. Boom. Graduation cap. I will give a cookie to anyone who can tell me the name of that thing hanging on the graduation cap. What is that thing, that floppy thing, that is attached to the graduation cap? I will give you a cookie if you can name that thing. Nobody? No one? Oh my goodness. Robert, how would you describe that thing attached to the graduation cap?
Piece of things.
A piece of thing.
Actually, I don't know. I think it's some. No, I don't know. I don't know because I don't know how to. I don't see every much, so yeah.
V is correct. Say it for us, V. What is it? V, you are correct.
Yeah, that is called tassel.
Tassel. That is a tassel. It serves no purpose at all. It just sits there, getting in your eyes when you're trying to see, when you're walking up to get your diploma. Okay, so Robert is absolutely right. You wear that when you finish high school, when you graduate. V, which of those forms? Oh, you know what? We're missing something here. Oh no. Which document do you associate with the graduation cap? It's not actually on the screen. There's a little mistake. What's the name of the document you get when you wear your graduation cap? Do you know the?
Is that diplomat certificate?
Right. A short way to say it is diploma.
Diploma.
Right. Diploma.
Yeah.
Right. And there's nothing to fill out. There's nothing to fill in. They just give it to you. It's already filled out. So, diploma. Okay, very good. There's two more images. Salwa. Look at the image of the hand. Which words on the right would you associate with that image?
Enrollment form.
An enrollment form, yep. And what's the action we would do?
To sign.
To sign an enrollment form? Could be, yeah. Maybe you have to sign up for a class if you have to fill in the enrollment form or check that you are actually enrolled or something like that, okay? So the verb to sign works. However, I'm going to give you a little clue here. Look at the picture to the left of the hand. What do you see? This is what
Signature.
Signature, correct. So you sign a signature, and the signature is there on the left. What do you call it? Sandra, this one is for you. What do you call it when you sign just the letters of your name, not the full name itself? There's an action, which is not to sign, but what do you call it when you sign only the letters of your name? Just the first letters. Sandra, do you know the name?
No.
It's on the screen. You can take an educated guess if you like.
Enrollment form?
No, that's not an action. That's a thing.
Yes. To async?
Not to assign. So if it's not signed and not to assign, then the only one left is to initial. To initial,
Yes.
to initial is to sign only the letters, just the letters of your name. Okay, so we've covered some vocabulary here. If you give me just a second here, let's see if all of this vocabulary is clear. Give me just a second. Hold on a second. Give me just a minute. All right. Yeah, let me jump ahead here. Just to end class, I want you to use some of this vocabulary in a free and fluent way. So, on your own, you've got a few exercises you can try, and I'll be happy to correct it for you. You can correct it, but I'll be happy to answer your questions. So if you want to try homework, you've got a homework on slide 7, slide 8. This is reusing the vocabulary. Slide 9, these are short answers. Slide 10, these are all little activities you can do on your own. But we're going to go to slide 11, wrapped up in red tape. Student A is doing an interview for a major newspaper. Student B, you're waiting in line at some kind of a bureaucracy. Could be a government bureaucracy, could be a company, could be a service. It really depends. Student A, your job is to find out what problems these people in line are dealing with. How do they feel about the bureaucracy in their country? Afterwards, you've got to tell your story to the editors, get them to run the story. Okay. Who is going to be our interviewer in this scenario? Who's going to be doing the interviews? We can switch roles, but who's going to start us off as the interviewer? You are, Giancarlo? Excellent. Thank you for volunteering. Fantastic.
Okay.
Very
Yes,
good.
Yes, John.
Everyone in class is waiting in line. I want you to interview 2 people let's say there are 2 people in 2 different lines. Let's imagine that. 2 people in 2 different lines. They may be in 2 different countries. They may be in 2 different kinds of lines. Okay, so I don't know. We'll find out when we talk to them. But you need to get the story. In doing so, class, you've got to reuse the key vocabulary. You're going to try to use one key vocabulary in each sentence that you say. So make the sentences count. Giancarlo, who is your first interviewee? Pick a person in the class.
Okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe
Anyone.
Rocio,
Rocio.
maybe.
Rocio?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here.
Rocio, do you know what line you're waiting in? Think about the last time you had to wait forever. Think about the last time. That's the line you're in. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Giancarlo, let's do a short interview and see if we can get the story from Rocio. Oh, and then we'll switch roles, and I'm going to have another person. So Giancarlo and Rocio, take it away, Giancarlo.
Okay, good morning, Rocio.
Hi, good morning.
Rocio, may I have your, I need some papers from you. May I have your birth certificate, your criminal background check, and please, I need your CV.
Oh, my goodness. I wonder why he needs these things, Rocio.
Okay, you asked me a lot of documents, but yes, I'm very ready, and I have that document right here.
When you say that you have the documents, Rocio, you have a great opportunity to use some of those verbs, like the verb to get something issued. Ooh, which one of those things have you gotten issued? Which one of those things came from the government?
Birth certificate.
There you go. Good.
I have issued my birth certificate.
I had my birth certificate issued.
Yes.
Repeat after me. I had my birth certificate.
My birth certificate issued.
Okay, very good. So, Giancarlo, remember, you're working for a newspaper, right?
Right.
And you're trying to get the story about how she feels waiting in line. You got to find out where she is and how she feels. So I want you to ask, 1 or 2 questions to her, and then we're going to try to. Well, we're running out of time. Let's see if we can do 1 or 2 quick interviews, quick ones. So, Giancarlo, ask your questions. Where is she? How does she feel? That kind of thing.
How does she feel about what? About waiting the...
Yeah, you got to find out what line she's in and how she feels about it.
Okay, well, the question is, how do you feel about waiting here in line or something?
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How
I
do you feel in
feel.
the process?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel tired. Because I have another things to do, and I am a little hurry.
A little
So.
hurried. I'm in a hurry. In a hurry.
Oh, in a hurry. Okay.
Okay. What kind of line are you waiting in, Ruthio? What are you waiting for? Think about the last time you had to wait in line. When's the last time you were hurried and stuck in bureaucracy?
Actually, I was waiting for my visa.
You're waiting for your visa. Okay, that's a
Yes.
very good line. Oh, Giancarlo, that's a good story. Finding out about people and their visas is a great newspaper story. The problem is we're running out of time.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, if you have to go, please go. But I'm gonna give you just 2 more minutes because I want to hear 1 more interview. So I need a second interviewer. Any volunteers to be a second interviewer? No volunteers, really? Okay, Frederic, thank you for volunteering.
Okay.
You work for Le Monde, and you are interviewing people to understand how bureaucracy affects different people and different cultures.
Okay.
Who are you going to interview today?
Helena.
Hurry up before they leave.
Helena.
Alina? Alina, are you out there?
No.
Alina left.
Yeah. Don.
Mr. Robert.
Hello.
Robert, I want you to picture the last time you were in a bureaucracy, in a line waiting. Picture the last time. Okay, Frederic, get your story from Robert. By the way, it's not Don, it's Robert.
Okay. Good morning, sir. I'm writing an article for my newspaper, Le Monde, and I wonder if you can answer some questions.
Sure, no problem.
What do you think about the bureaucracy and the way they issue documents and
Good question.
like visa and identity card?
For example, in my country, if you need to get some documentation, for example, visa or a diploma or something like that, you need to pay a bribe.
Pay a bribe?
Bribe, yeah, it's true.
Oh my God.
If you don't pay any bribe, you can take anything. You need to pay bribe. This is a way to work in my country. So
this is a great story, Frederic.
Yeah, but it's true.
Frederic, you're on your way to win. You're going to win a Pulitzer Prize for this story.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, last question. We got to end the class. Last question, Frederic. Anything else?
How long are you waiting for your?
How long have you been?
How long have you been waiting for your document?
For example, for my diploma, I need to wait 2 years.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and I get after I pay some bribe. That it's only diploma, so yeah.
Okay.
I need to pay money for high school for fast process or running out process.
Where are you living?
I'm living in Romania.
Oh, okay.
You understand now.
No, I don't know, but very interesting. Yeah.
For a moment, I live in Germany.
Okay.
Where are you from in Romania?
I'm from Bucharest, capital.
From Bucharest.
Right?
There you go. There you go. All right. We're going to have to stop here. Very good, everyone. And notice also, Frederica, it was really good to hear you use the keywords in your question, like how do the offices issue documents in your country, right? Good recycling of the keywords from earlier. Okay, sorry, Giancarlo, I wasn't very clear when I gave you directions. I think you were a bit confused because I wasn't clear who was doing what. My apologies about that. We got to stop here. Try those exercises on your own. Correct your answers in the last page. If you have questions or comments, write me a message and I'll be happy to answer them. I'll be back tomorrow with Hot Topics, which is our newspaper class, interesting articles from around the world, and followed by our last business class. We're going to do the activity from yesterday. We're talking about the culture of money, and you're going to have to adapt your English to make a financial transaction with someone from a different culture. That's it for today. Have a great day, everyone. See you soon.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
John.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.